ready for the first match of the evening, which is the men's singles, and this is your viewing pleasure tonight. As usual, this is the first match up, the men's singles tonight. Novak Djokovic against Fernando Verdasco. On a blockbuster men's singles match for the Hopman Cup final. This one is with the world number one against Spain's Davis Cup star, many years Fernando Verdasco. And boy, the tournament director Steve, top 25 for the 5th year. These are the standings, how the teams got here. This is Group A. You can see Serbia on top. They won all their 3 ties, 7 matches in those 3 ties. And Australia were very close, but Serbia had to lose last night for Australia to make it. They didn't make it, and so young Ashley Barty and Bernard Tomic really acquitted themselves unbelievably well over here. Got the admiration of a lot of the players and the players over here, as well as the spectators. This is Group B. Spain got through, and they won all their matches too. So Annabel Medina Garrigues has reminded Fernando Verdasco, because they were here last year and did well. She said, well, last year you might have carried the games, but this year it's been me. So it's she's done well in her singles matches, and they're a good doubles team, because Medina Garrigues has won 18 doubles titles. So they're a tough one if it gets to the mixed doubles in this one tonight. So Verdasco is a little bit like Nadal, takes his time getting out there. They go through their various habits when they sit down and place the bottle on the ground. But we're ready to go. It's Djokovic to serve. Started already. Nole, that's his nickname. Djokovic, that is. Well, if he starts off tonight like he started off with Tommy Haas, it's going to be a tough evening for Fernando Verdasco. Joined by Mark Howard and Darren Cahill now. And Howie, what are your thoughts on this one? A huge crowd in attendance again. Another massive crowd. And last night he started like this, Fred. It was 3-love in just 7 minutes. And if he plays the type of tennis he played last night, it's going to be difficult for Fernando to really get in the game. And Darren, you've had quite a bit to do with Verdasco over the years, and you've been helping him here. What's his game plan tonight?
Well, I haven't spent too much time on the court with him, Fred, but I believe he's looking forward to it. He hasn't been overly happy with the way he's played his first 3 singles matches, so a lot to prove for him tonight. For serve.
Game, Serbia.
Well, Serbia, the first game of this final, goes to Novak Djokovic. Head-to-head matches over the years.
(5-4), Novak leads.
Last meeting, that's a while ago. Just about right all those off.
Yeah.
2010 Rome quarterfinal. That's.
That was when Novak was a different player, wasn't he?
Exactly.
That was before he made his run in 2011, and Fernando beat him a couple of times on clay that season.
The roof open again at Perth Arena. It's a wonderful scene. Another big crowd in hand. The Serbian crowd has been out in attendance all week.
Serve is going to be really important for Verdasco, and not so much hitting the big serve, but just getting that bend on that first serve. Around about 180 kilometres per hour is going to be his target tonight against the best returner in the world. pace does not worry Novak.
I mentioned that just prior to you fellas coming in here, that his left-handed serve, he's got to move it out to the backhand on this court, but that might be a better one there into the body.
Novak's never really liked that one when he's played Fernando in the past, and I know they haven't played for a couple of years, but that high kicking serve that bounces into the forehand side of the body is the one that Novak has struggled with.
Yeah, well, he's the best returner in the game, so the one out wide, once he picks it and he gets in the slot, anticipates it, he returns it well. That's the serve that I like from the lefty. It's the toughest serve for the lefty to hit, that one, that off serve on the juice court. But Verdasco does it very well. 40 love. This will be a good confidence builder for him in the early going.
Fault. (40-15). Game Spain 1-0.
Both players comfortably holding serve, one game apiece.
Weather conditions, 34 degrees centigrade, 93, so rather a warm evening, but very pleasant. Just a slight breeze. The roof is open. We haven't seen that one all week.
Yeah, that's the one he has to make. It's a high-risk shot, but against Novak, you have to play with a lot of risk at times, and Novak's going to try to stretch Verdasco every time he leaves that ball hanging down the middle of the court, so Verdasco has to make his fair share of that forehand down the line.
50.
Very much an underrated part of the Djokovic game is the serve. Had a few problems with it a couple of years ago. But sneaky quick.
Good positive start by Spain in Fernando Verdasco.
15-20.
So much respect for the year that Novak had last year. It's never easy to back up such a sensational year that he had in 2011, and also added to that, those things you don't see: extra media responsibilities, sponsor responsibilities, the pressure of defending the previous year's points. No chance there for Verdasco. So for him to come back and defend his #1 ranking, it was a outstanding year.
And the expectation that comes down with being the world #1.
Exactly.
In front of the crowd, every time we've seen him play, people expect a show.
Game point. That's wide. So Djokovic leads now in the early going. 2 games to 1. They're on serve.
Serbia leads 2 games to 1.
Steve Wood was here earlier in the week. Steve Healy. This is now controlled by the ITF and Tennis Australia.
Boy, that's good tennis. So tough to beat Novak, I should say, cross court. He covers so much court. Fastest way home is down the line, but that's over the high part of the net, and that's a tough shot for Verdasco to make, but he played a good point. Yep. Part of Verdasco's problem with breaking into the top 10 and staying in the top 10 is not so much his record against Novak Djokovic, but it's been more his record against the other three in the top 4. 0-5 against Federer, 1-13 against Nadal, and 1-8 against Andy Murray. 2-26 against those three players. They've been stopping blocks for him.
Stopping blocks for a lot of people.
Yep. Actually, that win that Fernando had against Rafael was at Madrid. It's in Fernando's hometown, but it was on the blue clay last year, and I believe from memory Rafa was up a couple of breaks in the third set and Fernando clawed him back.
And Nadal said he wouldn't play there again if there were blue tennis courts.
That's right.
Yeah. Very tough there to change direction. Djokovic does it better than anybody else. Verdasco attempted it there, missed the forehand, down a break point.
Djokovic breaks early, leads 3-1.
Serbia leads 3-1.
It's the early break for